why not do this? I guess that's the big question. People here need help just like everybody in the United States. A lot of the attention in Haiti is on Port-au-Prince. I mean, every human's a human, whether they're born in the US, whether they're born here, whether they're born in Israel, whether they're born in Africa. Everyone needs health care. Some people are just fortunate enough to be born into a situation where they can get it easily. People here just weren't born into that situation, especially up here in the mountains.
The earthquake in Haiti created horrors that continue causing problems today. More than 200,000 people perished around the capital of Port-au-Prince when that monster quake struck 3 years ago, one of the largest natural disasters in human history. Haiti Needs You, a humanitarian group together with the Holy Spirit Church of Grand Rapids, Michigan, responded. A 20-member team spent 14 days in Haiti. HNY, as the group is known, helped 7,000 Haitians. They're still helping. Early in 2013, HNY members headed to Seguin in the southeast mountainous region of Haiti. These missions are dangerous. 4 members of the HNY team died when their SUV plunged into a ravine en route to Seguin. They were veterans from the original team that helped in Haiti after the earthquake. But Haiti Needs You still wasn't done with their sacred mission to Haiti. In June, Haiti Needs You sent a new medical team back to Seguin. This is their story.
How are you?
When we arrive at the airport, we gather our bags, put them in the truck, and then we go to Matthew 25 house. That's the guest house we stay at. Here at Port-au-Prince, about 15-20 minutes from the airport if there isn't any traffic. And if there is, it could turn out to be an hour. So everybody's pretty tired. They eat, they have a beverage, and they go to bed. We wake up by the roosters first thing in the morning and we're ready to go. We're about ready to pack our bags into the trucks and head on up the mountain. The thing that I want to tell you is this. It could be a difficult trip and then it may not. But the thing that I want to tell you is this. If it can go wrong, it will go wrong. When we get up there will be food that I'm going to tell you not to eat. You cannot drink any of the water up there unless it comes out of our bottles. So those are the main things. Don't drink the water, don't get mad, and if you do, fix it right on the spot. It's a great opportunity for a few of us to have a little healing.
Help this be a healing journey for all of us. And we all have a better outcome because of it. Amen.
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 All right. So, let's go.
Papa ou, on m'a dit petite moi, à côté papa ou, la expliquer, la bonne papa ça, la expliquer, la bonne papa ça. Si Joseph, à côté papa li, il dit papa, la bonne papa ça. Si Joseph
we start our trek up the mountain, which usually takes us about 7 hours to get up here to Sagan. There's not a direct way from Port-au-Prince, as it's actually about 25 miles away from Port-au-Prince, but you can't get there from there. You have to drive around the island through Jacmel, and it's a 76-mile drive, but it takes 7 hours. There's one stretch of it that is all 2 tracks, rocky roads going up. So that's what takes so long. When you're coming up the mountain to Sagan out of Jacmel, is you're climbing from sea level up to 6,700 feet. Some days you'll see a cloud coming towards you off from the ocean, and then all of a sudden you're in the cloud. It's high up. When it's 95 in Port-au-Prince, up here it's about 75. And at night it gets down to like 55. So it's good Michigan weather for us. The area of Sagan is pretty much a farming community. It's mountainous, it's rocky, it's uphill everywhere you walk, and a lot of the farms are terraced on the side of mountains. They might have an acre, most of them have a quarter of an acre. They're gardening 3 plantings a year, anywhere from carrots, beets, to onions, corn, potatoes. And then but that's their livelihood. And they take a portion of that down to Port-au-Prince, sell it, buy new seed. The other part is used to trade up here in the market or to consume themselves. It's very beautiful in June because all the crops are starting to come in, and then in the growing season it's just green and lush and beautiful.
All right.
We have a set of twins, and one of the twins is nursing well and thriving, and the other twin won't nurse and is not doing well.
And what are you guys suspecting?
Oh, the baby's dehydrated, very dehydrated. Likely malnutrition is playing a part because baby's not nursing.
But we're concerned that maybe she has some kidney trouble long term.
Well, we're going to have to get fluids in somehow. Just deciding now what we're going to do.
I think a lot of the problems that we see with patients here have to do with the fact that they're hungry and they don't drink enough water on a regular basis. So you'll see people who are dizzy, or you'll see people who are complaining of stomach pains, and a lot of the times that's because that they just don't have enough food to eat. Tim, do we have anything for our malnourished kids, like formula or milk?
Well, the big problem with the last lady and the malnutrition is that we're going to kind of give her a Band-Aid, with some formula or some peanut butter, and but hopefully she'll be able to get more. So, but that's a big problem, is if they're not nursing well, and that child was definitely a nursing age child, that's part of the problem, is they don't no place to go. Tell her that we don't have the baby. We don't have the baby formula.
Okay, tu vas get baby formula.
Oh, we have the Mamba.
Okay, Mamba.
And then just feed the baby, not a lot, but like throughout the day, 4 or 5 times a day.
Ou ka ba ti diamant ba bali en pile non? Ou bali en pile fois par jour, donc ou bali 2 à 3 fois par
And
jour.
there's lots of protein in this.
Pas grand pile protéine là, mais pas grand protéine.
And then when you run out of this, go get some more.
Et là ça fini, toujours aller
It's just these people, they're like the most beautiful people in the world. They're so kind and they deserve the best. They deserve to be like helped and they love us when we come here and just their love makes me want to be here. I am 16. This is my 4th medical missions when I was in 8th grade and I just kept looking forward to be here and it was so great. I just love the people and it's always been a part of my life, like my whole life. I don't even know, there's no words for it. Pick up the meds for them. If there are any problems with the prescription or we can't read it, we go talk to the doctor. And we're just like the last check for the prescriptions before they get to the patients. They're just so happy when we arrive. Like when we drive in and they're all yelling, Tim, Tim, Tim. And I just want them to someday yell, Kelly, Kelly, Kelly. I just want to be able to help. I want to be able to help the people here.
Here in Sagan, it's a hard living. It's difficult. Up here, they can't take the time off. It's a difficult choices these people have to make.
Mais tout monde, c'est même mettre la qui
There was a young lady that was brought in by her extended family. She had to be carried here and she's going to have to be carried home. Her behavior, she was not walking or eating or drinking. She's 22 years old. She had lived in Port-au-Prince and got pregnant there, and then she lost her baby, and she also lost the relationship with the baby's father. So she was alone, she was not thriving, and she was literally shunned by her community, and I think that is what contributed to her poor health. I think she has really severe postpartum depression. A lot of tender loving care and some vitamins, and we're hoping that she gradually gets better so she can return to health and function within her community again.
Papa dambala dambala, ukonen se titi tu papa. Papa dambala dambala, l'oubli jo pour garder.
The daily routine here, well, we wake up and eat, and then just get ready to come down to the clinic, and then we usually get started. I kind of see where I can fit in most, whether it's helping with triage, blood pressures, temperatures, or helping getting the pharmacy started. If the doctors need it, the doctors or nurse practitioners need anything, then like a shot to be given, a wound to be cleaned, then I'll do that. I just kind of run around and do whatever people need me to do. This is one of the main reasons I went into nursing, is I wanted to be able to do medical mission trips for long periods of time. So this is my first time, but you see somebody for 5 minutes here, but you've been able to change their life for the better, so that's cool.
What's happening?
This is a cholera patient. She started vomiting this morning and she just can't stop. And then her heart rate's very fast, and then she's dehydrated. So we set up an IV to give her fluids, and now we're trying to give her a bolus of fluids, which means a whole liter of fluid very quickly. And then we're going to send her down to the cholera treatment center.
But if we had not been here, several things would have happened. One, she probably would die from vomiting, diarrhea, lack of fluids. But the other is, the huge thing is, she would have infected the community up here. Most likely she has infected a couple people, and her husband brought her in. He'll probably be treated for it also down there because he was handling fluids. And so it's a good day for her, and we're just glad we're here.
You do what you can to not spread the bacteria. So the main source, the main vector of cholera spreading is from your hands and from your feet traveling through wet water that has cholera in it.
The realities that the people are facing here every day, it's difficult to farm. If hurricanes come in, they wipe out the crops. People are living from crop to crop. In the States, we call it living from check to check, but here it's from crop to crop. And if the crops go out, then they may lose their farms because if they have to have the seed for the next planting.
Everything is going well when it rains, but when the storm comes, it washes everything away. When it happens, we don't have anything to do, so we just stay hungry. And the kids, they can't go to school or do anything.
They have to work every single day. They can't take the time off because they know that they have to have that crop come in. It's a difficult choices these people have to make.
You cannot live without doing something. You bring what you grow to the market just to stay busy. Early in the morning, I sometimes have coffee and bread if I have it. And if I'm lucky in the afternoon, if I have enough money, I have another coffee and bread for me and for the children. And sometimes I don't sell anything and all we have is the coffee and bread in the morning.
You feed the family, you go to the doctor. Do you work in the fields and lose the crop, or do you go to the doctor? And then if they say, okay, we go see the doctor, the nearest one is about a 9-hour walk away. They can go to Port-au-Prince or they can go to Jock Mall. And then the other tough part of that choice is you have to have the money in order to go to the doctor, which they don't have.
Sorry.
Yes. Well, if somebody needs surgery, then we generally try to get them down to the hospital.
And Port-au-Prince or Jock Mall?
Jock Mall. We try to give them some funds so that they can pay for the services.
You pay for them?
Yeah, most of the time.
I'm Dr. Ralph Fejri. I'm from Port-au-Prince. It's my first time here in Seguin. They need more medical attention. I think they're supposed to have a clinic, but to have a better health for them. But they don't have.
When we first started going to Haiti with the medical teams, we immediately noticed that not only were the people in poor health and desperately needed medical attention, but they also were in desperate need of a dentist. Oftentimes we'll have people come in that an abscess will form in their mouth from infection, and it'll actually come out the side of their mouth. So we can treat that on the medical side with antibiotics, but we can also treat it in the dental clinic by relieving the pain by removing the tooth. When we walk down to the clinic in the morning, about 8 o'clock in the morning, there'll be 150 people waiting every day that we're there. The dental team that we have here, along with the medical team, is very important for a few reasons. One is that we're able to relieve a lot of the pain of people that just can't get to a dentist because of the affordability or the distance to travel.
For now, I'm just numbing her because she has a wisdom tooth for 32, wisdom lower tooth to be pulled out. So just getting her prepared for that, and then in 5 minutes I will be able to extract the tooth. As you know, I already numbed her, so she shouldn't feel any pain. That is one of the rules. We have 2, that is 1. So after that, she will only need antibiotics, and she will need to bite on some amount of gauze just to keep her from bleeding.
The Haitian dentists are just so valuable and important to our mission. They're fast, but they're very gentle with the patients, and the people trust them. So it's important that we have this relationship and build it over the years, because someday we may not be going there, but they still will.
I'm just hands off of the course. Oh, I'm actually cleaning. Yeah, I'm just saying.
It doesn't matter whether it's a medical or dental mission. It needs a lot of support people to help operate these teams. And these support people are not doctors, not dentists. They could just be people that are coming from the States, that are school teachers or plumbers, or that just have a desire to go to Haiti and help.
All right, ready for one?
Ready?
You ready? Yeah.
Mostly what I've been doing in the clinic this week, and I really enjoy it, is escorting the patients. When they're ready to see the doctor and the doctors are ready, I escort them back to the providers, the doctors or the nurses. And when they're finished, I bring them up to be seated in the pharmacy area and give their prescription to the pharmacist, the pharmacy team. And I try to treat all the patients with respect. I enjoy meeting them and walking with them. And it's not a hard job by any means, but it's one I really enjoy doing.
So this is for the littlest one. We'll need to get a weight on him and then get him a dose of ibuprofen.
So there's a lot of opportunity for people that don't have the medical or dental skills that others have gone to school for. But we couldn't do it without them.
Generally try to help the doctors as much as possible so they can be working with the patient and not looking for an instrument or waiting.
It takes a lot of support people in order to put on a clinic. You know, you have your security, you have your door people, you have your triage people. It's quite a process.
It's 1 twice a day. Separate.
Then I've been working mostly in triage. This is where we just kind of do the basic workup before they see the doctors, just getting their blood pressure. I handed the thermometer down there. I don't know. Okay, good. Basically in triage, you're just kind of getting them prepped before they see the doctor. Give the doctors a few numbers to work with, so it saves time, so they don't have to do those things, and they can kind of move forward with treating them.
I think there's a tendency for people not to notice that life here is traumatic. You know, consider what Haitians have been through over the course of just the last 3 years. There's an earthquake that killed over 200,000 people, a cholera outbreak that affected more than 400,000 people who were sick and then killed about 3,000 more people. And then the day-to-day struggles. After last year, Hurricane Sandy struck this community and killed off a lot of the livestock, which served kind of as the savings account for families here. And then it ruined the planting season. So during the dry season, people didn't have enough food to eat. People were barely struggling to have one meal. Life in Haiti is tough, and there's not necessarily the social safety net, not necessarily the social fabric to take care of everybody in the way they need to be taken care of.
So Haiti Needs You is now going to be bringing in more medical teams, more dental teams. We're actually going to start working towards bringing in a doctor to work up here on a regular basis. We already have a nurse who works once a week, but we're trying to move in a direction where we can step away at some point because the people will be able to sustain this themselves. Future generations will live healthier, I believe, because of all the efforts that the church has made and that Haiti Needs You has made, and it was that partnership that has made this work up here in Sagan.
Changer.